going on there? Hey guys, welcome to the live stream. Welcome to my gardening live stream, cactus live stream. We do not define us. We just do what we want. And I'm in the greenhouse with this amazing flower here. A big white one. I will turn the camera around. Apparently, this thing has a problem. I don't know. I don't know it, white. Hey mate, good morning, Pear. I'm okay, thank you. Just a little, you know how it is with Kami. She's really not getting. She's a little frail. She's a little weak. A little worried about her, but I hope it will be okay. So I wanted to turn the camera around, but thank you. Okay. I mean, it's a difficult time for me. Worried about my parents and all. They're also in a little bit, you know, not so healthy right now. It's a difficult time. I hate it. But thank you. So yeah, here with this one, I brought a meter so we can measure it, okay? Check this out. Putting it here. This 25 centimeters. This is a pretty big flower. This is a pretty big flower. Let's measure the length. If I'm correctly, this one could even be bigger than the other one recently, like yesterday. The length now, let me see, 23.5 or no 24 centimeters length of the flower. Yeah, and it's pretty good. Plant got a little water so it doesn't drop the flower buds up there, and they have continued to grow again. We have aggressive sunlight right now. The sun is the enemy, you know. It's cooking. It's often drying the flower buds when they are developing. So this is amazing. This is great. I want to collect pollen here. We'll try to do that later. We'll get me a paper bag, and then we're brushing a little bit of the pollen in a bag. But yeah, just wanted to show the plant here. The size, it's maybe 180. It's roughly as tall as I am. And yeah, I just brought it in a bigger pot. This one was flowering without a big pot. Now it has more space available, and I hope that gives it more energy for the future to grow the fruit. Sometimes you get a lot of flowers, but they don't translate to fruits, and I want to have more of them, you know. Keeping the plant in a little bit bigger pot that gives them a few reserves when they need to grow the fruit. So yeah, this is going to be one of the things that we will do today. But yeah, also repotting. I wanted to talk about the time lapse that I'm filming inside the house. I'm currently filming a time lapse of Leucostele deserticola, and that one had another technical error overnight. I'm filming with a Samsung smartphone, and yeah, it wasted half the night, like 4 or 5 hours of the night recording of the time lapse went lost because the camera had another technical error. And this was the second time. Happened again with the same plant. I'm not sure why, but the plant is cursed. It's the only explanation. The plant has a curse. So yeah, I will get me a hard drive to attach the hard drive to the smartphone. Maybe it's just a file space problem. It could be that overnight the files get so big that the camera can't really work them anymore. And that is my theory right now. So yeah, waiting for the hard drive that I bought to arrive, and then I will try to continue working with that. I hope that will solve the problem. If not, I might need a new smartphone. And then I would get me a used one on eBay or something like that, you know? So, okay, let me show you something else. This one here, check this out. This is a hybrid called Blaze. I'm quite happy how the plant turned out. This is one of the plants that I almost lost when I had my crisis after we lost Snoopy and after my wife moved out, you know, divorce and all. I had a year where I didn't water them enough, and these had really suffered. So I put them in a good soil, good pot, and it turned out nicely again. This is really beautiful again. Very happy that I have this plant back on course, you know. And this will always need a very sunny spot. In my greenhouse, this is one of the plants that I often put on the shelf, way up. The more light it gets, the better. And the flower is nice. Usually in the past, this plant was full of flowers, but it needed a little bit time to recover after having, you know, they had quite a few scars from having from drying out. When you don't water enough in summer, then it can happen pretty quickly, but they bounce back. So yeah, we can pollinate here with one of the big white flowers that we have. Columnar cactus as a father. This one here is a lobevia. Yeah, we could do that. Or we could pollinate with Leucostele deserticola. That could be a freaky cross if it worked out. I just think it would probably not work out. Yeah, but who knows, right? I mean, I'm not sure if anyone ever tried crossing this lobevia with Leucostele deserticola. I doubt it. Deserticola as a species is too rare. There are people that are working with it, but not so many, you know? So we could try that. I consider it. Because I also brought two brushes with pollen from the house. Here, let me show you one. And this is pollen of Leucostele deserticola. The plant was like formerly called Echinopsis deserticola, and there's a subspecies fulvilana. Yeah, but in my opinion, I would have just left these together, you know. But I mean, it's just my personal opinion, you know. So, but we will pollinate this flower here with this. But this is too, like the brush is a little too wide. I will try to maybe get me a smaller brush here, and then I will. Oh, everything's wet now. I'm not doing that. With here, I have brushes everywhere. So, and I just wanna put a little pollen on the thin one so we can pollinate lobevia. Lobevia pollination is always a little bit finer. You see that you need to get the pollen in center. This is like when you're in the space station and you're flying through the channel and you only have that one chance to really hit their main generator, and the main generator is the stigma here in center. Because if I accidentally pick up the pollen that's also in this flower, then I can fail. Then it can induce a self-pollination, or maybe I'm diluting the pollen to a point where it's not causing a successful pollination anymore. So I try to have as thin as possible here with the lobevia. And by the way, this is really good feature of the lobevia. You can also use them for the brushes. So okay, pollen Leucostele deserticola, and I try to really get to the stigma and rub a little around on it. I'm not sure if it will work, but I think I hit the right spot. Now that I pulled it out, it's full of pollen of this one. What you can also do when you have a flower and everything's too messy, you can open it up. Of course, it's not the nice way. Like if someone sees you doing it, you might get, they might be giving you the evil look. But yeah, I mean, sometimes for pollination, opening a flower up, you get to the stigma perfectly. There are certain plants that have a mutation where the stigma is a little bit deeper in the tube, And sometimes you even have to open them up. Okay. Yeah, so we could pollinate the big one in the other greenhouse, Leucostele deserticola. And to show you the species, I have one somewhere in one of my. Give me a second. I want to show you the plant that we are using now as a father on the columnar, on the big white flower that is open. Yeah, where do I have them? I brought them out, I think. It's a nice species. It's a thin, slender species. Oh, here it is. There you go. This is what we are using as a father. It is a very different type of plant. The idea behind it is, look at the nice rib structure that you see here. Maybe we can change the rib structure on the columnar cactus to have something like this included in it. And also the columnar cactus has a big flower, and this one doesn't. Maybe we get an interesting kind of flower if you mix them. So this is from the plant that I have inside my house, where I'm filming the time-lapse video right now. That video will film the whole day, so I didn't want to move it out just to get a little pollen. But yeah, we will use that now and pollinate the big one. I always wanted to make that cross, and in the past I did a few of them and they failed. So we're getting to the point when it should really succeed, where it should really start to succeed. This one here, we pollinated yesterday. One got bamboy, the other one got pink stripes. One got mamacita, and I'm not sure what that was. Something good, definitely. Yeah, and these were also pink stripes and bamboy. Look at the size. This looks almost like comical. Look at the size of this kind of thing in my hand in comparison. Absolutely amazing. When you see these dimensions of a flower, that really leaves an impression. That's the kind of stuff that you really have to see one day. Like, if you like plants, seeing the big ones is really good. Like, you can't compare it to a lobivia flower, to something smaller. Of course, the small ones are also great, but they are not like so much in your face compared to this here. They take space. If you're working with them, if you pollinate them, you really have them in your face, and you see the dimensions. Fun plant, and easy to grow. Just make sure you get one with a big flower, because not all of them have it. Like, there's some that have smaller flowers, and we will show some of them. So I want to pollinate that one with Leucostele deserticola now. Yeah, and in the house I have one that's open. I might pollinate that one with the same. And it might be a waste, because I could also pollinate with bamboy maybe. So this is the one. Pollen. I'm getting second doubts, I'm getting, I don't know, how do you say I'm second guessing myself now. For one, it would be great to have a hybrid with that kind of a rib structure. Here you can see this one. With a little bit of fantasy, you can really imagine how it would look if you had maybe different spines even, but on a columnar cactus with a big flower. So it's not bad, but I also have a little bit of pollen of bamboy left. Bamboy, maybe I should just scrape the last bit of pollen out of the bag and try it here too, in case the others fail, because flower size is what this guy has. Like, this is one of the ones that have the biggest flower. I could maybe try to do the crosses with the body. I could do these with the ones that have smaller flowers anyways, but you could also argument that you're doing it with the biggest ones that in order to kind of get the biggest possible flower in the next generation. So yeah, I'm a little unsure right now. Just want to discuss the flower a little bit. Yeah, here the nice reddish color on the sepals. Nice long flower tube. Maybe not just as long as the other one. But in regards to the opening size from the front, this one is much bigger. Maybe even 1 centimeter bigger. Super beautiful flower. If you look at it like this is super nice plant to have. Brownish hair, brown with blackish hair. Scales on the tube and on the ovum. Up here too. And yeah, this is like remnants of when there were plants, like when there were normal plants before they developed to cacti. It's really funny. Here the flower buds I also wanted to show you. Mostly brownish, beige, but turning white from the light. And that is something that you got to keep in mind. Like when you're comparing the flower, the color of the fluff of a certain species, make sure that it's not just bleached by the sun, that it's a consistent trait. Yeah, that's it. I mean, this is also good. I want to collect a little pollen, so I will bring this back. We will first collect pollen, then we decide what we do. Yeah. That cross with Deserticola makes sense, but I could also try doing more with Bamboy. I have maybe 2 or 3 bags of old pollen, really old pollen that might already be gone. So I'm not sure if that makes sense or not. So okay, I'll put the brush back. We will probably use it later. Here's a bag. Let me get that, and then we're collecting a little bit of pollen. Shouldn't be so hard, because when you have like a flower like this, very often the pollen just comes falling out. I have problems with my hands and with my leg. Had too many tick bites in the last week. I can feel it's like you're paralyzed on one side. It's really bad. I hate it. Ow! And this is what's happening. I often take the stair, you know, like where I'm getting stuck on the last stair. So, okay, let me see. I'll try to do it without the tripod. I don't have the tripod right now. Tripod is used in the house filming time-lapse video. So I'm just trying to do it like this. Let me see. Yeah, I collected a little bit already with just one hand. It's marvelous. So let me push this in here. Yeah, this is good. Little bit of pollen. Look at this. This is already great. Yeah, then we have to make a decision. Life is full of decisions, and I hate it. Every decision for something is also one against something, and in this case, that you can go both ways, and you can have a great thing. Yeah, I mean, I think we're using Deserticola. It's gut feeling. Could be great if we're getting a hybrid here with this kind of a big flower. Yeah, but Bamboy would be another good option. Okay. Gotta put that here, and we'll get that later. Another brush. Oh no, we're getting one of these here. Getting the other one. And I have a lot of plants that we need to repot that were pretty messed up. like the stuff that we're repotting right now, most of them have issues. That's why we're repotting them, you know? So I will bring in a few really roughed up plants, but I'm sure we can save them. It's just that we have to do something, otherwise we will lose them. When you see skin problems and that kind of stuff, it's often just a lack of space in the pot, and then you have to repot, you know? So yeah, this year pollinated with Leucostele deserticola now, in the hope that this will take. So far, the crosses that I did like that have failed, but maybe we are lucky this time. Maybe the 5th or 6th time's the lucky time. I don't know. Could have even just been the 3rd time that I tried this cross. I'm not sure. Every time I had pollen and I had something open, I tried it. Good. So yeah, we will repot a few more into coconut fiber. I still have half a pack, and I definitely want to use that up. Still haven't checked out with my pots. I was still too greedy to check out. I was seeing the $100 in my shopping cart, and I just couldn't check out. It would have pained me too much. So okay, I would say we're repotting a little bit maybe. And by the way, check out this guy. I just noticed that the pumpkin is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I had today, for the first time, I had thought about maybe I have to prune this back. I'm not sure. I mean, in winter, it should definitely come back, and maybe the next year, you know, like disappear over winter, freeze over winter, and then come back the next year from seed. So I'm not sure. But this corner here is always a little bit more humid, and this could be a good spot for them. I'm just not sure if I want that, you know. Here's the pumpkin. Hey, spider. Hey, friend. Oh, hi, Mark. Let me see. Feels great. Feels really firm. I'm really happy with having a pumpkin. And if it's just one, I don't care. One is enough. I'm just worried that it might not become so big. I wanna carve it on Halloween. This is going to be our Halloween pumpkin on the channel, and I'm looking forward to that. I hope nothing happens to it. It's always impressive when you see how many bees are in there, and you never see any kind of pollen. I thought that like a flower of this size would have so much more like visible pollen. I'm not seeing any, but they're always rubbing themselves on the stigma. They're always pollinating like crazy. Can really see how the pollinations happen in nature. Okay, good. Let's go into this greenhouse again. I wanna discuss a few things here. Gotta water this one now. Both of them. Now that they are pollinated, they will make a decision if they have enough energy to actually grow them. Like, you have to succeed with the pollination. That is one part. The other part is making sure the plant can actually grow that thing. And that's what we're doing now. Like, from time to time, making sure that they are not completely dry. Because when they're too dry, they will eventually prioritize their own health. I mean, of course they do, you know? And then they drop everything that's not absolutely necessary. And yeah, very often you can lose the flower buds in that time, or you can lose the fruits. They can drop the ones that are even successfully pollinated. Look at this. Isn't this nice? Really like this. Scopulicola, by the way, I wanted to show you. Looking okay. I'm happy with it. Wanted to have a look at Schaffery yellow here. We will have to remove that here eventually, but I want to let it dry up a little bit more. This is the remnant from the fruit. We also have a fruit here that we need to remove. This one needs more time. This one's flowering very soon. Yeah, this one will look amazing. This looks really amazing. I should consider doing something here with this thing. And I didn't read, this is not a plant with a big pot, you know. This really tiny pot. Because this is actually a grafting, this was a grafting stock, you know, where I took off a tip and I didn't even want to root it. I didn't even want to give it a pot. And it just rooted itself. And that is the result of the way we've been growing them in the last 3 months or so. It just gives them a lot of energy. This is the kind of stuff that I always show when people talk to me about small pots. I would love to have big pots. Like where I live, unfortunately, the pot size is limited by the fact that you always have to grow in a greenhouse. Planting out is always better. But you do not need huge pots to have healthy plants. It just means you have to, like with this kind of a pot size, you will be watering all the time. You will be having to spend a lot of time just watering. And that's a lot of work. Do you want to do it? Okay. If not, a bigger pot might be a better solution, you know, like because that also gives the plant a chance to actually grow the fruit. Having so many flower buds isn't the hardest part. The hardest part is actually having them also grow fruit. And when the pot is too small, they sometimes don't do that. They don't have the resources they would need to actually grow it. And that is where the big pot size is better, you know? Getting them to flower is not that big of a deal. You can even induce stress. You can stress them so much that they will flower. It would often be a weak flower, but you can do that. It's not my approach. I don't like it because I feel like there are better ways to just ensure the plant that it has enough water, that it has enough nutrient, and that the nutrients are available, and then they flower too. You don't have to stress them into flowering. But pot size can mean everything, can mean nothing. It really depends. So this one we have repotted recently. Just wanted to have a look at it. This is a Hartmut Kellner hybrid. He's an old school breeder. I have a lot of respect. A lot of great hybrids came from him, and I felt like in the last 10 years people weren't respecting him as much, you know, in some ways. Yeah, I mean, it's glad that he's still around to share some stuff. It's a super tiny plant, and this is already this is a cross from 2016. This is an older plant. This could already flower next year. It's crazy because it has that pseudolobivia, which usually doesn't grow so tall. Sometimes when you use them, when you breed them in, you get a very small plant. They are just something like this. The shape of the pseudolobivia is similar to these subdenudata hybrids. Okay, let's repot. I have coconut fiber here. Look at this. It will be a huge mess, and I love it. So let me get the tripod, and then we're repotting a little. I have more of these hybrids here that I wanted to report. These are Tersheki hybrids by Joylene Sutherland. Joylene is amazing. I'm a big fan of what she does in her garden, and I would love that she would get more help with what she does. She is the source for so many amazing cactus hybrids in Australia, like Sörensia hybrids and that kind of stuff. Joylene Sutherland, absolute giant in this whole scene, and I have to report them. You know, I grew like 100 maybe, but I didn't keep all of them, and a lot of them had variegation. My opinion, they could have had a totally different father. You know, like a different genus, intergeneric hybrid, because of the high percentage of variegates and in this whole cross. And yeah, I was giving away a lot of them, and I hope people grew something from it. Until today, I haven't seen much. You know, I think I've seen 1 or 2 people that sent me a few photos, but that was all that I saw from the stuff from the last 10-15 years with certain types of plants that I gave away, like where we gave away seeds, you know. Okay, so I want to get gloves. I'm not overly worried about the coconut, but still, it doesn't have to be. So I want to use the water to make everything nice and wet. I will try to clean up a little here in my set. I apologize that the set is a mess. But every day we have to do something here, and it's just, you never get the time to really clean, because every day there's new dirt. So, okay. And this has soaked since yesterday. Yesterday I put in 2 bricks of coconut fiber. This is a little bit more than 2 bricks. And coconut fiber is a decent medium. I think we will be using it on channel. So, okay. By the way, yesterday I watched the semi-finale of the World Cup with England. England against Argentina. Congratulations to Argentina for winning. I've watched the game and I couldn't believe it. Like, that England was winning, and then they were changing the formation and putting a forward player out and staying in, like, completely defending the rest of the 30 minutes or so of the game was I couldn't believe it. It's once again Tuchel, his own worst enemy, because they were actually, I had them as my prime candidate for winning this year. I really like Harry Kane. He's a great player, great striker. I thought they would win, but again, Tuchel did it again. He kind of, I don't know, he's thinking too much. Okay, let me get the water. So, okay, I want to see. There are a few that need to come out first. I don't have like unlimited pots, so I will try to find the right ones for the pots. Give me a second, okay? Oh yeah, here are the. Let's do these first. Okay, I want the water. Then we're cleaning up the roots and everything. Oh, I turned off the water. Or is it tangled again? Is the hose tangled again? There will be a day when I'm getting a heart attack just because of the water hose, and it will happen. It's too complex for me, this thing. Let me see. Yeah, I think this one. It's already getting hot. I'm so glad that I was out with Mika this morning. Like, later, the heat is going to be hot. It's unbearable probably after 2. Okay. I really hope the time lapse inside is filming. If I'm getting a technical error again, then I think I'm flattening the phone, and that would be bad. I have stuff there that I just need from time to time, you know, like videos where when I'm posting a time lapse that an older one. Oh, look at this. This is not good. But it can hear. We just need to have it really good, nice and clean in the new soil. But this is not good. Gotta be careful with overwintering. Next winter, everything is a little warmer in the greenhouse. So. But they look nice. This is going to be awesome. I will let these grow to flowering size. In my greenhouse, I decided I want to have all the big ones. You know, like in the past, I had a very bad relationship with the big plants like tersheki. I just felt like I can't get them to flower in my greenhouse. But I think I can. So now we're really trying it. In the last few years, I've grown quite a few. I've bought a few. Have a few Verdamanianus that we could, when they flower, we could make crosses with. You know, I want to have a few more Chilensis. Want to do more gardening. We're really doing some interesting stuff here, and I love it. You know, I love what we're doing right now. Seeing so many plants. If they come through the winter in this medium, if the medium is okay for them, then we have a good future, like in regards to the quality of the plants. And it really just comes down to work, actually doing the work. Reporting right now, what we're doing now, I hate it. It's the worst, but it's also important. Did I lose one? I feel like there were 4. Were there really just 3? I didn't count them before, but were there really 3? Maybe I lost one on the way. I will have to have a look at the video later. I think I don't have any more, so I think it should just be 3. But okay, that gives them more space. I will look at the video later. Maybe I put it down in the pot. Oh, this is going to be awesome. I'm looking forward to that, really. Right now, I had so many years when I couldn't buy the soil, or when I couldn't buy the pots, and the fact that I can do that now, that I now have the reach to do it, you know, like people see what I do, and that makes things a little easier for me, and I'm glad about that. Really happy. Still have a complicated relationship with social media. Like I went through the profile yesterday on TikTok, and there were so many great videos posted there. Like I was looking at my profile on TikTok, and you can have a look for yourself. You know, it's the same username, and I was going through that timeline, and it was just great stuff, amazing stuff. And they were showing my posts to 200 between 200 and 900 people. They were never really giving that stuff a fair chance. And that is what I criticize about social media today. They have built this ivory tower where you have to pay to just be seen by your friends or by your audience that you worked years to actually build. And that is what I hate about social media. the way they are calculating the algorithm, I just don't accept a world where they give this kind of amazing flower content, nature content, just 200 or 500 views. That is why so many of them stop doing it, because they can't afford to in this industry. It's better to become a political pundit, like an influencer that just changes the opinion depending on who pays them best. This kind of stuff, you have to be able to make a living with it too, So yeah, I was really frustrated to see how poorly the posts were doing there. I don't think I would spend time putting a lot of energy into the profile anymore. It's just insulting. At that point, I'm not playing that game. If they really want to value nature content this poorly, then okay, then you deserve the kind of platform that you have. So I'm getting more. I have a few more that I want to report. Hey, this is coconut fiber. Coconut fiber is something you get it as a brick, and then you are kind of soaking it overnight. And in this case, it was just that there wasn't enough coconut fiber in there. It shouldn't be so wet. It should be, ideally, I would put another coconut brick in there, and we will do that later. But in order to work with it, I can already get it out. It just has a little bit too much water content right now, but it doesn't stop me from using it. You should definitely let it soak for a day in order because it becomes a lot of medium you get from a little brick. And yeah, it takes a while to come up. Okay, so I will get me another pot of stuff that we can repot. Okay, I have a few more here that I want to get out the medium. These are root bound, so we might have to really cut them out. I see that the roots have grown through the holes at the bottom, and very often that makes it hard to get them out, to just get rid of the pot like this without breaking off. Oh, good. Very root bound, so we will break it up. This is a poor medium. The reason these have skin problems is just because of the medium. This needs to be in a good soil, and I'm sure then they will recover in no time. This was a medium that I used that was completely useless. Really, every plant that I used it on, it was in poor health, because compared to pumice, this is just has a too low mineral availability, can't store the water long enough. The good part about pumice is that it stores the water for such a long time. So okay, so this is a side pop, I think, right? Yeah, I don't want to rip that apart. I will leave that the way it is. This here, these are small. We will take these apart. You are tearing me apart, Lisa. Or something like that. Yesterday I saw Tommy Wiseau. That's why I said that. Yesterday I saw a video of Tommy Wiseau somewhere at the premiere of something. Like he's touring for the Room, for his movie The Room. He's touring around and he's just funny. Okay, there could be a label in there, but I'm not sure where. So let me just get rid of that. I will try to get the label. I need to know what it is. No, unfortunately, no label in there. but it doesn't matter. We're using this here, this kind of pot, getting a little bit of, and I leave the bottom layer here, that this is a little pumice as a bottom layer, just for drainage at the bottom of the pot. It's not super necessary here. This is a medium that we have to keep dry over winter. Like, we have to be careful how we water that towards the end of the season. I think it will work. I think you could use that pure or mixed with something else, like pumice. There's a little insect that's living in there. Go away. I don't know how an insect could survive in that. There was a little, I don't know what it was. Looked like maybe the size of a spider mite or something like that, but something lived in there. Either that or it fell in. Yeah, but we need to keep the soil dry over winter. Can't water this too late. Why not to transplant to larger pot with old soil? Do you have pests? I generally try to get rid of the old roots. For one, sometimes you have roots that are not healthy anymore. You know, when you have roots that they basically reach the limit of the pot, and then, you know, they realize they can't continue to grow, and sometimes they then expire. You know, so you have to sometimes clean up the roots a little. And I also try to get rid of the mineral medium that I used at the time. The medium that I had these in was a poor medium. It was too fast draining. I think it was some sort of a volcanic mineral, maybe lava, or it could have been expanded clay, something very fast draining. And when I used it, all the plants looked bad. They were dehydrating too fast. They were losing too much water in that medium. And that's why we're using this now. This is a little bit more water retaining. Where I live, we have these record summers, like where everything, where it gets so hot that the medium dries out too fast, you know? So I try to use this. This is coconut fiber. And coconut fiber can be a great medium. It will be, for the future, I will do a lot with coconut fiber. If everything works, it will be my main medium here. And I'm not convinced. We will have to experiment. So this one will go into a separate pot. And the skin problems that you see on them, I'm sure this will go away. This is the kind of stuff, like skin problems are usually the result of plants being root bound, not getting enough water, fertilizer. Sometimes the roots are not big enough for the plant, yeah. So you either have to fertilize more often, like if the soil can't hold the nutrients, the water, and the fertilizer long enough that the plants can take it in, then you might have to either, you know, increase the pot, change the medium, a little bit more organic medium, a little bit more water retaining medium like this. And there will always be plants that you can't grow with this. Like this kind of soil for something like Mexican cacti might be performing very poorly. Everything that likes to grow in stone, I wouldn't try this maybe. I mean, eventually we will try that out too, just to see how it goes. And it might work surprisingly well, but I wouldn't want to bet on it, you know? This kind of stuff works where I live. Like right now, in this time of the year, we recently had 43 degrees Celsius for the first time. I never really worked with organic soil either. Like you originally start with organic soil, then you realize that mineral soil can be much safer, much easier, and then a lot of people change to mineral. And I worked with mineral soil for maybe 10 years. Worked a lot with pumice, and I still use pumice. Pumice is great, but I try to not use minerals if I can. Like these kind of cacti here, that really like a lot of water in summer. You still have to be careful about not having wet medium in winter, having wet roots in winter, but they usually take it pretty well. So for now, the first experiments that I did with this kind of medium were pretty good. This year we are now seeing it used on a bigger scale. In the end, we will have maybe 100 plants in coconut this year, and we will see how it is. The one thing that it is, it's basically neutral. So you have to put in nutrients, you have to have a good fertilizer. Without a good fertilizer, you can't use it. You might even get certain nutrient deficiencies that are specific to this medium, to coconut. Yeah, and that's why having a good fertilizer is really important. But the same would be true for pumice. You know, pumice is also relatively neutral. Okay, good. So, and you will see, like, these skin problems, we might lose a plant here and there over the next 2 years, but most of the plants that we are reporting now, they will outgrow the skin problems. I'm sure of it. Have the plants with the coconut fiber dried up, like the ones that we reported yesterday? They had dried up by the end of the evening, so I watered them yesterday evening, and most of them are still wet now from yesterday evening when I watered them. Yeah. So usually the medium dries out within a day. Like during the day when the sun comes out, these will dry up pretty fast, I think. Still have most of the ones here. Yeah, this one, I guess. This one. These are from the last few days. These were the tersheki from yesterday. Yeah, at the second part of the day, we had so hot yesterday that the soil was dry. That's why it can make sense to work with this kind of a medium. It will depend on how good they come through the winter. We will have to see. Yeah, definitely dries within a few hours. We will try it out later. This time I will try to really, keep an eye on it, to observe it, to see how long it takes. So far, every time I look, the soil looks dry. Let me go to the others. We can check the ones that I already have there. These are in the sun. Yeah, here's dry. Here's a little bit humidity left. I watered everything yesterday evening. Yeah. It's a matter of a day, I would say, right now. Through the night, we didn't have a lot of heat. I'm sure this will work. This can work. I've had one plant in coconut that looked really bad last year, and it turned out so great. I was so positively surprised by the plant, and it was that super blue one that I have, really the best one. And that plant had like five flowers, and eventually also grow fruit on every flower. And that really weakened the plant. So I had to put it in a more organic medium because it was already dehydrated. And that thing that looked amazing. Like within 6 months, the plant had recovered from the dehydration and looked perfect. Sometimes I have plants that are in a medium that's just holding them back. If you have the wrong medium, and for me the wrong medium was lava. I used to buy lava in between because it's a little cheaper than pumice, but there are good reasons for that. It's cheaper because it's less useful for cacti, Yeah, I'm reading the comment, okay? I'm concerned about the 7, 8, 9 months in 10-ish degrees in winter. Yeah, during that time, they have to be completely dry. Like I'm watering them, last time I'm watering them in October, September, and then the medium needs to stay dry. I wouldn't want to have them in wet coconut fiber either, like over winter. That could very well cause infections. But yeah, if the soil stays dry, if nothing drips on it, in winter you always have the risk that there's drip water coming, And that will be the main factor, keeping them safe from the drip water. Because once the medium gets wet in winter, then it will take a while to dry, maybe a week even. And that's too long. Hey, welcome to the live stream. Thank you for being here. We're just repotting a little bit, repotting in coconut fiber. I need to get another brick for this. I will get another brick because I'm currently fishing the coconut fiber out, and it's a mess. So yeah, I'm getting a bigger brick that we can put in here that sucks a little bit of the water out, and then we're repotting more. Maybe 2 or 3 more, because everything that we repot now has a good chance. Like, there are plants in my collection that are great, but they need to be getting their own pot now. So let me I will get a brick or 2, maybe 2, and a plant that we can repot. Okay, here I am. And tomorrow I really have to get the old shorts, like the sport shorts, because I'm running out of shorts to work in the garden. You really need something where the water just when it gets wet, the water just goes down again, you know. So I might actually be getting out the 70s and 80s shorts for tomorrow. I will be looking laughable. I apologize, but I just have no other. I need to wash a machine of the shorts now, like in the next days, but I didn't get to it yet because of all the flowers that are open. So yeah, this is the coconut brick, by the way, check it out. This will expand, will eventually be pretty big. Hey Robert, good morning. Great to see you. Thank you for being here. Just in the middle of opening a brick here, and the brick is fighting hard, fighting against me. Oh, come on. Okay, now. Good. These here, I really like them. Also plants that need a chance, so we need to get them out. Skin problems because of just lack of medium. So I'm trying to get them out now. Want to water them a little bit. Yeah, I think we can get all 3 in the bigger pot. It's not perfect. You should actually single them out already. If I had more space, I would single them out right away. But yeah, I don't right now. So let's see. Oh, see? Mealybug. These need to be selected for special treatment. Mealybug. The enemy of the state. I hate them. I really hate mealybug. They are such a bad pest. Yeah, I have a few of the, like, you know, like the way they wore the shorts in the 70s and 80s, that it looked ridiculous, you know, but it's still funny. I'm so happy that I still have those, because now every now and then when I'm getting them out the closet, it's like the 70s are back or the 80s are back. People just don't wear these anymore, unless you're maybe Borat. Yeah, we will get rid of the mealybugs. They will get a little treatment. They will get a little neem oil treatment, and then we're golden. Also cleaning the medium here. Nice. Trying to get rid of all the grass. This I will dump away. Give me a second, okay? Okay, good. Let's try to get them into the new medium here. Let's put the biggest one maybe here. Look at how fast the coconut fiber is sucking up the water. Yeah, thank you. Exactly. I will try my best. During the flower season, it's really hard to have a normal life. Every day you're waking up, first thing that you're doing, it has to do with cactus flowers, and the last thing usually either the pets, either the animals, you know, or the cactus flowers. So, okay. Yeah, this looks interesting. We will have a look at the label. There's another helicopter flying over. I think they're flying over on the regular basis. So, okay. Yeah, this guy's flying over like almost daily, I think. But also maybe that's just their route. I think it's an emergency kind of helicopter that helps to transport people to the hospital and stuff like that, you know? Yeah, that's true. That's true. Like here, everything full of nettles, and I don't even know it. You know, you're walking past the nettles, and in the evening, you're wondering why your whole body is swollen, is turning red, and that kind of stuff. So many nettles everywhere here too. So okay, let's have a look at the label. I think this is a hybrid. It's not this one here. Hybrid by Gus Freeman. The number Z 281. Hybrid with short spine, Australia. Yeah, and for that it makes sense. I'm sure when they have grown into the medium, these will turn out nice. You can really see interesting new body, you know. Sometimes with these hybrids with short spine Australian, that South Australian short spine clone that they have there, it's a very unique kind of body, and I like that. It's a little bit like you're creating a new type of species. They all come out a little bit similar, like these Validus hybrids, and they're relatively thin, and they look a little bit like Peruvianus, but the spines are completely different. Like here, if you look at this now, one in center, this is not a classic Peruvianus spine. They're goldenish. This is going to be great. This is going to be a fun plant. And with a little luck, the flower is big too. Good. This goes into recycling, I think. I think this one's done. This goes into recycling. Okay, I'll see if I find a few more. What's this? I wanted to repot these. Oh yeah, we are repotting these. This is a big plant. Oh, come on. I have a big plant that I want to repot, but I needed the right pot for it. So now I've gotten one of these fabric pots that are somewhat okay. I like them. They are not so heavy. You can move them, you know. But in this case, something bit a hole in it, maybe a mouse. So the medium is coming out. That's the price of having one of these fabric pots and not a real one. They don't hold so long. You can use them maybe for a season or two in the conditions that I'm working here, you know. So I want to clean the roots here. Also root bound, we will knock everything out. Also want to clean my hand here. There's so much dirt in my glove. How did it get in? Oh, come on. Hey, good morning. Welcome to the live stream. I'm just regretting my decision to wear this kind of a glove. It's like full of water. And it's dirty water. Yeah, it's okay. We're repotting a little. Trying to get the medium here out of the rootstock. And I hate it. I hate repotting. It's not something that I like to do, but you have to do it, you know. Unfortunately, it's something that is a necessity. And in the future, that's why I like to use the coconut fiber. I like to work with coconut fiber, like more to work with coconut fiber compared to the other medium. Coconut fiber is something that I'm not so worried about, like when inhaling a little bit of it. So yeah, I'm potting a lot in coconut fiber. This one here could already get a separate pot. Yeah, we're giving this one a separate pot. We're putting this one in center. This is the kind of size of a plant that already warrants a bigger pot. So, okay. So, by the way, I want to talk about something that I saw on social media. So yesterday, someone had tried to post a photo in one of the cactus groups where I'm an admin. And it was a photo that I knew from somewhere, you know. It was one of these accounts, and they all are the same. And I can tell you how the pattern looks like that I'm seeing. So these guys are stealing photos, but they are not posting them on their personal profile. They are just posting the photos in cactus groups. They're going around. I don't know if they're doing it manually or if it's a bot, but they are posting stolen photos in groups. And on their private profile, it's usually women from Indonesia or Malaysia. That is a commonality that I saw. And on their profile, they always just post stuff like food, family, and pets. They almost every day you see them post food, but absolutely no cacti on their profile, on their timeline. They are just posting that in the groups. Yeah, and yesterday someone tried to post a photo that someone else had taken. And yeah, I mean, that happens on a regular basis. They are doing this in a systemic way. I don't know what they get from it. Maybe they monetize it somehow, you know, maybe with affiliate. But I noticed the pattern. I really noticed it. The medium here, the coconut fiber is a good medium. There's never a medium that works for every single plant. There are certain cacti that where this is just too organic. The plants that I have here, these are pretty, like they're growing in a humid environment. You know, high humidity and all that. They can deal with that very often. You just have to make sure that it's not too cold. They're not constantly wet. Like the roots are not constantly wet. But if you keep the medium dry in winter, then this is a good medium for a lot of these kind of cacti, these columnar cacti. Echinopsis probably too. But the more stone loving, the more Mexican you have, the less this could be an option. You have to experiment with your own climate. Every place is a little different. Every overwintering, like it depends on how you get them through the winter. Over here, my goal is to keep the medium completely dry between October and March. And in March, we will start watering again, March 15th. And in between October and March, this will be completely dry. Of course, you have to make sure that it's not dripping on them in the greenhouse. And that happens. That happens quite a lot. And the more you heat, the higher you can heat the greenhouse, the less humidity you have. I'm always just able to afford the bare minimum. Like the humidity, like the temperature usually in the future will be something like 5 degrees. And in the past, I did much lower in winter. But it wasn't safe for all. It was safe for maybe 85%. But if you want all of them to be okay, then you have to have a little warmer. I mean, it depends. If you have the plants in the house, if you are keeping the plants in the house, like over winter, at room temperature, then they need water and then they need fertilizer. But in my case, I will leave them in the greenhouse in a completely dry pot. Like this medium usually dries up within a day. And over winter, they would stay in that completely dry. In the greenhouse, there's a little heater that keeps the frost away. And with relatively low temperatures, then they need no water. They kind of hibernate through the winter. But the moment you have them inside, the moment you have them at room temperature, they would need water again. The overwintering in completely dry medium only works if the temperature is below 10 degrees Celsius. Yeah, then you really have to water them. Have to maybe depends on how hot exactly. I have relatives that overwinter their cacti in the cellar, and it barely works for the more. There are certain cacti that just love a little bit warmer temperatures, and these can be better for in-house, like mammillaria. They can, like when I see my grandmother has one, and she usually succeeds with that thing, and it's way too hot for other plants in her house. Okay, so I will bring this one away. By the way, look at this. This is going to be awesome. Skin has a few skin problems, but now that it's in the new medium, this will be awesome. Let's repot a few more. I have some here, different type, and I wanted to see what we have. I wanted to take these apart. You are tearing me apart, Lisa. Yeah, and I wanted to have a look at the label. So this is a cross of mine from 2021. 2021, 74. And there's a little thing that's living in there. I will put it away. I will look up the label before I'm repotting them. Want to see what it is, if I even want to keep it or not. So we can't repot that one. We'll get another one. Come here. I want to have a look at this one. I want to give this one a fresh start. Let me get rid of all the medium here. I had repotted the plant a while ago, trying to get out the fawn. I will plant the fawn in the garden. I like them. They are beautiful. I just want them in the pot. Yeah, this is Cactus, by the way. This is an amazing plant. And I would love to have a much bigger pot for it right now. I actually wanted to put it in this one here. In this carry bag that I can let it grow big. But the soil is coming out of it. No, we're using a smaller one. I don't want to have a too big pot for that. It's a sensitive plant. Got to make sure that we're getting it through the winter. I think we're putting it in. I either think about using like pumice, washed pumice for this one. We could use the same pot, but fill it with pumice, or coconut fiber. That's the two options. The plant looks okay. It's popped, and that is something new. Like last year, it hadn't popped. Oh, there's a spider. I'm sorry, spider. I'm sorry for having bothered you. I will put the plant away. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, spider. I hate when that happens. I hate when there are like little animals living on them. I apologize, spider. Hope it's not injured. But I think not. Okay, let's repot another one. Okay, I have these that we could get out of the pot. Also, same problem, skin problems. Needs a new soil, needs a big pot. I will water it a little bit. And this is the old stuff that I will get rid of. Give me a second, okay? Okay, good. What a dirty job. See what a dirty job repotting is? I hate it. I really hate it. It's not fun. Oh, come on. Okay. So we will use one of these for this one. Don't need to go overboard with the size right away. One thing I try getting rid of the oxalis now that we have a chance. Oxalis is a little weed that keeps coming back if it's in the soil. So we might get rid of it by repotting. Yeah, the climate has changed a lot. So the way people have grown plants will kind of change a little. You know, we have to kind of see how the next winters will be. In general, the winter here has become a little milder, but we have so much humidity, you know, so much rain now, sometimes like extreme weather. Either it's hot or it's cold. And that makes it harder. On the other hand, it's a little cheaper to get them through the winter with the heating, you know. This is also going to look nice. I'm sure of it. This is going to be a great plant. Oh, I hate repotting. I would rather not. So, okay. Yeah, so in my opinion, now that Tuchel has lost with England, I think they will fire him. I think he will not have a chance to keep his job. This morning I've been following the discussions on social media, and they are already really angry at Tuchel as a coach. Yeah, I mean it happens, right? That's the thing. like I've seen him be a coach in Bayern Munich, and he lost the team. He's a great coach. He like in theory he is great, but he's usually failing because of the human aspect, because you also have to kind of emotionally lead a team, and he's often losing touch with them. So yeah, seeing this I actually thought they would still win yesterday. But I'm also not surprised to see Tuchel fail again because of himself, They lost the game. They lost the football game yesterday, like against Argentina in the World Cup, And to me, England was the secret favorite, I suspected them to win the tournament because I like Kane. Harry Kane is really a great player right now, great striker. But yeah, in the last 30 minutes, they played so defensive, like needlessly defensive, And it was a decision by the coach. They had kind of changed. They had taken one forward like that was out, and they brought a defensive player in. And yeah, if you play like that against the world champion, then of course they are at some point. Then you will have bad luck. Yeah, I've watched them. They were great. They were fun to watch. Like how's he called? Like Haaland. I've seen him play in Dortmund. He was actually, before he really got big, he played in Dortmund, and I was watching the games at the time. I was amazed by him already in Dortmund. It was a shame that they couldn't hold him in the league. But yeah, that's how it is. He's a fun player. So these I want to get out because these have a chance. You see, they have bad skin, but there's potential here. We just need 1 or 2 healthy pups. Maybe we can get that from them. So let me water them. Yeah, life is so boring without characters, So let's get rid of the medium here. This was mostly pumice. So it's not a bad medium, but I want to have a fresh start here. I really want to have a fresh start. Always got to be careful that there's nothing alive in there. I'm really worried about that kind of stuff. I hate that when that happens. I don't want to have any living insects. I really check every time. So this needs to be cleaned up completely. And this will go into coconut fiber. Oh, I hate repotting so much. It's the worst. I have my hands in a swamp. Absolutely atrocious. But these are also great. These are also by Gus Freeman. Also short spine, Australia, that hybrid. Crossed with Norma. So let me get rid of this, and then we're repotting them. Yeah, exactly. I like when people have the courage to be themselves, because so many are not in these days, like in this kind of a world. So much is about being safe, They always want the safest people for in the media, but safe, sometimes also predictable and boring. Okay. So let's get them into this one here. So
Yeah, so I'm really unhappy how the way it's going on TikTok. You know, you hear people talking about stuff that's going viral on TikTok, and every time when I look into it, it's some really low quality content. You know, it's really something that shouldn't be taking viral space over gardening. I'm always amazed how little views they give you on some of these platforms. But then again, what I do, what that I talk about it, it should be like the younger ones that feel like their work is the problem, that their content is the problem. That should like they should know that it's just the algorithm that's wrong. It's not them. It's the algorithm that's broken. They are trying to make people pay for everything, and then of course very often you don't have quality at the top because that should actually be the kind of content that they show, but very often they don't. I need to get rid of the gloves. They're full of dirt. I have some stuff in the gloves. I don't know what it is. It's probably from the medium. I hate it. Ow. So, but this is going to be great. Let me get a new. I need to get a new glove. These were full of soup. I have soup in the glove. Oh, I hate when I have to wear wet gloves where there's water in it. These are the new ones, and there's also water in it. Everything that I forgot outside has water in it. I hate it. Thank you very much. Okay, good. I find these to look really interesting in regards to the body. Have a lot of plants that we will keep for just another year or two, but then by that time we should be able to see the differences that make them unique. Some of these could turn out to be amazing. Can't keep them all, so it's not a problem that I lost a bunch. Yeah, this is a piece that might actually root, so we are putting it in. Sometimes when you have a plant that got an infection at the base and the tip's still healthy, sometimes the infection runs out of steam and then it roots by itself. Here you can see the new roots that have come. So this will actually survive probably, as long as you don't make a mistake when you're potting it up, when you're putting it in the soil. It needs to have contact with the soil. But as long as that happens, this could be great. This could work. I think there was another one that also had a tip. Oh, here's another one. Same story. You can also root this. In the end, we will probably just keep 2 or 3, but I want to wait. You never know which ones will be the most beautiful ones, the best ones. Need to fill up a little more. This is not enough. Just wanted to clean them up a little bit. Hey Remo, greetings to you. Thank you for being here. Just repotting a bunch. Have a few plants. I've selected plants that had skin problems that I want to repot because there's a reason they have skin problems usually. In most cases, when you see that on seedlings, it's just lack of space, lack of a good spot, lack of good soil, lack of water, lack of something. It's always something. It's usually enough to just pick them up and repot them. But when you have so many, and it gets hard to prioritize what you want to do first, because so many of them are good. These here, short spine Australian, it's like a Validus hybrid, maybe Tersheki hybrid, and that makes it useful. Like it's a unique kind of body here too. With a little bit of fantasy, you can really see them turning out well. Oh, I wanted to move this one. There's a little centipede or something like that that's walking on it. How sweet. So I wanted to put this one in. This is a TPM Zelly hybrid. I want to take off the tip sometime soon before it's getting to the humid part of the summer. And we need to make a few cuts in the next days. Maybe we're doing it now, depending on how much time I have left. I think we're done with the repotting. I feel so dirty. I want to shower. I really hate repotting. It's one of the activities that I just don't like. You're constantly, going through old medium. You have to get rid of it. You have to clean the roots and all that stuff. And this medium, sometimes it's sharp medium, sometimes it's lava, nothing that you enjoy touching. Okay. Okay. Just trying to get clean again. I will wash my hands and then I'm picking the camera and then we're going to the flower stuff, do other stuff. There's some fun stuff that I want to do in this live stream. Okay, good. So yeah, we should pollinate the other one again. Let's see how it looks like. Such a nice flower over there. You will love it. For the ones that came later and haven't seen it, I was pollinating a beautiful big columnar with a white flower, and the diameter is huge. It's even a little bigger than yesterday's. I thought that wouldn't be possible, but here we are. Check this out. About the comment with TikTok. I mean, TikTok is a lot, these days. The younger content is often TikTok, but it's also a lot of people that are getting insane reach on the platform. It can make a lot of sense financially for creators. But in my case, it could be something simple like I have deactivated notifications, and maybe they're not giving priority to people who want that, who choose that option, or maybe they see my privacy settings and decide, so this guy doesn't go viral. Whatever it is, something in their algorithm is responsible for my stuff, for the good stuff, getting nothing, like 200 to 900 views. And that shows you the core problem when they are giving reach to these political hate mongers, political influencers, people that just use the internet for hate. When these guys have it easier to monetize and make a living, that's a bad thing. That's genuinely a bad thing. So yeah, that's why I'm so frustrated with them. It's not only that they're not giving my stuff reach. I'm used to that. But it tells a little bit about social media in general that they're not doing that. Like with Facebook, I had the same thing, and it just changed maybe 3 months ago when I started complaining about it. It's funny. Sometimes you really need to be a little louder from time to time, But yeah, I just wanted to have a look at these here. These will open up very soon, and I will have to find a way to pollinate them. Probably from the other side. And look at the guy there, hoping for a meal. A little grasshopper or something like that. And another one. They're already noticing that the flower will open up. Yeah, but it doesn't matter. They can have it. I don't want to eat the flowers. They can have them, We will pollinate them when they open up. And what happens with them doesn't matter. So I wanted to show you this one again. Look at this. I think we should be measuring it. That's true, Remo. That's true. That's totally true. But that's part of the problem. They can decide what kind of a content they want to show on their platform. That's exactly what I mean. They could decide to actually promote good values, but they're not doing that. That is what makes me really what's frustrating, because the young generations need to see that kind of stuff too. You know, like when I look into there and look at the notifications that I get, it's like a ghost town, and it's shameful. They should show more of that kind of content. They're making it so easy for people that repost stuff for them to go viral, you know, because they don't have to put in the effort and do all the work. They can just repost more and more and more. And, you know, that's at one point, the algorithm will reward them for it, for just consequently reposting, stealing every single day consequently. That is a problem on social media right now. So, yeah. I wanted to show you this one here. We have this here. And this is flowering. I wanted to do time lapse, but once again, I'm not sure if I can get to it because I'm filming another plant, a different plant under the time lapse camera right now. This one here, but this looks great. I would definitely take a few photos and videos to compare the flowers of these. We have a few different species open, you know, and every one of them has a slightly different felt, slightly different color. We will see how that one will look when it's open, how wide it is, how big it is. In regards to the length, this is much shorter than the others. So, yeah. Oh, look at this. Do you see it? Super nice. I love them. And this is the kind of stuff, if you have a natural garden, you have all of these around. They just need specific plants always. I'm always happy when I see butterflies, and I have decided for the future, for the channel, something that we will do on the channel. We will plant stuff that's good for the butterflies, for the local butterflies, for the native ones, and to promote that. I want to grow a lot more plants just for the insects here, for the pollinators. We are building a paradise for pollinators. I wanted to show you this. I agree, Remo. I agree. That's why I'm doing my stuff the way I am doing it, you know? Like, I'm consequent in not changing to an algorithm, to make an algorithm happy that they could change again the next week. Like, so many people are kind of tailoring their character, their personality to what the algorithm, to what sells best in the algorithm, you know? And I'm not doing that. I'm me, just me. And I'm so dumb, but it's fun, you know? I just enjoy my life the way I do it right now. I feel like I have all the fun in the world. This is the best activity ever. These are the, how are they called? Carolina Reaper. Check out how big they are already. I'm getting scared. They could be getting to a point where you have to try them, you know? So I wanted to water this. I've seen that this one needs water urgently. So let's do that. Maybe we're watering the others over there. Oh, look at this. Look at this huge thing. And this one is a type called Ciliega. No, it's not Ciliega Picante. Something with chocolate jalapeno, I believe. The Carolina Reaper, I'm not sure which one it is. No idea. But it's supposed to be really spicy. Geranium we might be planting too. I'm currently looking into that, like what kind of stuff. There are certain butterflies that look a little bit, or certain moths that look a little bit like colibris, and maybe we are planting something for those too. I wanted to spend a little time reading what they need, what they like, and then we're growing them in the future. So, okay, good. Yeah, and these are nice. I mean, what am I doing with all of these? I will try to eat one. And here's one that was eaten by an animal. I'm not sure why, but it only ate half. So it wasn't really interested. They're they're everywhere. They're everywhere. Yeah, I have a lot of them. That's why I still have a fair amount of butterfly here. I try to not do too much with them, but you also have to, like, they're really overgrowing everywhere I have cacti, you know, so I should be harder on the nettles. They're a little overdoing it. Okay. This one here I want to give medium. This will go into new pots. This is a hybrid by John Nichols. And I haven't heard from him in a long time. I'm not sure what's going on there. Like, there's some friends of mine from Australia, you never hear from them again. And I'm a little worried. Also haven't heard a lot from Rodney in the last years. I hope he's okay too. But this is a hybrid between Fields Validus and Chic Pink. Really slender plant. Yeah, I can't tell you if it's allergies. Like, every day when I'm touching the nettles, of course I'm completely messed up when I come into the house from them. But yeah, I'm not sure if it's just normal or if it's allergic, you know. I'm sure they are also a little bit uncomfortable when you're not allergic to them. This needs to be repotted. This is the pink stripes. Pink stripes needs to be in a new pot. Unfortunately, not. Like, this is ragged pink stripes. It should have been ragged, but it wasn't. Yeah, good. So this is for tomorrow already. I wanted to get this one here. Oh, what's that? Look at this. It's looking kind of open, kind of weird a little bit. This Lobivia winteriana. Have you seen any interesting animals with the night camera? I had a lot of foxes, having old and young foxes. Yeah, right now mostly foxes. I'm not sure why, but the foxes come out even during the day. I think they are thirsty. They're drinking from the pond, you know. And I'm a little bit careful with Kami. I don't trust the foxes. I'm sure they are not doing much, but I wouldn't want to bet on it, you know. So yeah, we could pollinate this one. We could pollinate this with the columnar. Yeah, we're doing that. We're doing that. So disinfecting this. I'm pretty happy with the medium. Seeing them in the sun, they look pretty good. Like, when you really have them in a good pot, decent size, good medium, I'm sure we can grow out most of the problems that we had. I just don't have space, you know. That's a big issue. That's a big limiting factor. Space. But that's the reason why I'm reporting. We need to choose, you know. We really need to look at every label and choose if we want to keep them or not. And stuff like flower size will play a role. I will have a look at every hybrid and how big the flower is. I will try to keep the ones that have potential for bigger flowers. You can really do that in many different ways. You can pollinate everything with a columnar cactus that already has a big flower, but there are a few here and there that have gigantic flowers, and I will try to use those more. So this is columnar cactus on Lobivia winteriana. Will probably fail, but who knows? We will try it out. I'm glad that I have these. This one needs to go into a mineral medium. We will repot that tomorrow, I think. I want to have it in nothing but pumice. That is my approach for a lot of the lobevias. Everything that's not columnar cactus, I would try to really be careful with the drainage. This is one of the species. It comes from Peru. The species is Peruvian, so it might even take a little bit of humidity. But I don't want to. I don't want to test it. You know, I don't want to overstress my luck. So these are from the week. Moving these aside here. Got to be careful. I'm not sure if they take the full sun. Oh, this one needs to come. We need to take this one out. Let's do it right away. This needs to come out the sun. And we need to, sunburn. Not too bad, but it's bad enough that it can cause an infection. So want to get these out. Just cleaning up already a little bit. Tomorrow we will repot these and maybe these. Yeah, pink stripes needs to be repotted sometime soon. Putting it like this. This needs to go. We will repot that maybe tomorrow. These go in the sun. Playing in the sun. And we got to be really careful here. Could be that the sun is too strong for them. Every cactus is different. And with these multi-hybrids, you never know which is the species with the sun resistance that was most dominant. Some of these have Cactus-like plants, and they usually take the sun well, you know. But also multi-hybrid, if you have a different kind of species involved, then they can really get freaky. Then they can maybe not take the sun. So, okay. I need a way to shield from the sun. The whole place. Maybe I'm putting up a sun that thing. Okay, I'll get the tripod. Then we're watering that thing and cutting it out. I really want to do that. Yeah, and this could be great. I'm not sure where we are putting it in. I don't have a pot that I would like to have for this kind of a body. Ideally, I would put that really deep in a big pot, in a really big pot, to give it a little stability to root. But I don't think I have them. We could put this thing in that fabric pot that is a mess. Like over there, this one here. So let me carry that in the greenhouse maybe. I want to put that plant somewhere against to make sure it's not falling out here. It's not falling over, or that it's not getting sunburned. Need the tree cutter. Okay. Yeah, and later I need to do tax work. I hate it. I have immense issues with that kind of stuff. I need to force myself to sit. Okay. Yeah, it would be good if we can maybe save a large part of the roots. There's quite a big root there, but it will be difficult to get it out without breaking it, you know? I think it could work. Let me see. Oh, I hate it. Thank you very much. No, there's something else. Oh, I hate it. Let's clean it. Now let's clean it. Oh, it's also not the right label. I think we're leaving it in. Doesn't matter. It's not a big problem. Okay, good. So let's put in some coconut fiber. Oh, I have issues with picking that thing up. So, okay. I will fill this up now, and then later, that thing cannot move now. This will be at the same spot for the next month. And the reason is the sunburn. If I put it out now, it will rain on the sunburn, and this is a very dangerous situation. This can heal. It will probably heal. But if I'm not careful, if I'm not treating the wound right, if there's no good aftercare here, then the plant will not make it. Then you have an infection that comes up, and then you need to cut it. I mean, you can still save the piece that you're removing, but this is a situation where it depends on how you treat it, if whether you get an infection or not. So yeah, we will put that in here, and I hope that it will flower within the next 2 years. This is a hybrid, has potential to flower, and we will do it. We will try. I will leave it here now because this is just not stable, because that can't be moved right now. It will take a good 6 months until this has some stability in the pot, and we have to keep it up. If something knocks against it, it might fall over, and then we might have like wasted a month where it had already rooted a little bit, you know? So yeah, this will stay here, and then we're letting it ride out. Good. Okay. Yeah, let's water a little bit. Just a little bit. Just the vegetables that we would otherwise lose, maybe. Tomorrow we're repotting this one, Cactus. But I need a big pot for that. Really need a big pot for that. This one needs to come out the pot. This is pink stripes, and I want to remove the one at the base here. We are taking the whole plant out of the pot and rooting it deeper in a bigger one like this, just deeper. This one also hasn't been properly rooted. It should have been a little deeper. This is what happens when you don't put them deep enough in the pot. Some species just have a tendency to be a little unstable. And yeah, Candicans is a species that grows relatively wide instead of tall. And yeah, you need to really keep them from doing that if you don't want that. So I will try to get more pots in the next days, and then we can continue repotting the big ones, which I would really like. I have a few big ones that I would love to see in a big pot. The Cactus being one. Then I have Fast 12 that I would love to repot here. This one. This multi-hybrid with Lobivia. It's a really cool plant, and also has a bad medium. The reason this plant isn't superbly healthy is the medium. This had a little bit too much lava in it. Same with the others, and we have to knock it out the medium. Have to really take it out, and get rid of all the stuff that's in the root stock. It just wasn't good. I think it hurt more than it helped, the medium here. It would have been better to have no medium at all, to just have it in an empty pot, and would have been better. Good. Okay. I think we have done a good job today. We have gardened a little. It looks like in a sand lot. There's mud everywhere, but I've had fun, and that's good. I'm going in here again to show you something. This is Teleflora. Pollination here succeeded. I think we pollinated with Winteriana and Subdenudata, right? I think that was the parent that we used. There is a second flower here, and this one could already be dry. I don't want to touch it, but it could be completely gone. It's my gut feeling that I have, but this one still looks like it has life in it. Then here, let's see. These will be ripe in a few weeks, maybe a couple weeks. This one will ripen first. Here's the big one. And this is really a grafting stock. I use the plant as a stock because it's so great. With you don't have so many spines, you can really use this. It's very accepting when you put a sign on it. But look at the flower. And in the future, I will be keeping that thing for just pollination. Okay, yeah. Then I recorded the video about TBM, by the way. I'm not sure if I will post it or if I will film a new version of it. But the main theme was that I saw someone having a hybrid called Wocket, and it was basically just a TB. It looked like a TBM, and I wanted to discuss that because apparently at a certain point people start renaming the classic plants, you know. So there will be a video about that coming soon. If anyone knows that kind of a hybrid called Wocket or a clone called Wocket, let me know. To me, it just looked like a TBM long form and nothing else. People are naming too much. And I know it's hilarious when that comes from me, like having written a book about that, but I haven't named many plants in my life, you know. I have maybe 20 or 30 plants that I named. And when people right now, today, I see people naming botanical plants that they have grown, you know, and it shouldn't be like that. You should be naming something like flying saucer, you know, Teleflora. This is a unique hybrid. Stuff that you can, if you put 100 plants beside each other, and one is the one that you have named. If you can identify that one out of 100, then it's a good time to maybe to give it a name, to propagate it, you know. But just naming something, there's so much over commercialization involved in that. Like people, I think they have realized that the more names, the more they can sell, you know. And I find it a little sad. That's all. We need to clean this. This is Schaffery yellow. We will clean this in a video today. And this is a pup that I took down from the base. Looks okay, I think. But we got to be careful here. This wound looks a little bit suspect, a little bit blacker than it should be. But I think we are getting it under control. Okay. Bruce Dragon. Yeah, it could be that it is the same clone. I mean, it could definitely be. That's the thing with the TPM. You know, TPM, like the original, when Sacred Succulents in their catalogs, they were selling 2 different clones of TBM, and they were writing that this thing can look different every time. You know, like because the way you get these patterns sometimes it might look random. I'm sure there's something more to it than randomness, but they can really look unique, and it's still the same genetic clone, you know? That's why it's kind of hard to say what you have there. And when people start naming stuff that they have just found, that is just something that they have bought on eBay, there's a high chance it's actually something else already, you know? But yeah, I like Bruce Dragon. It's a nice plant. It could be a revert of a TBM. And if it is, then it deserves to be propagated just for that, you know, because a revert of TBM would be valuable for breeding. In my opinion, TBM doesn't flower because it never really develops these kind of areoles where the species usually flowers from, and I can show that, you know. We can discuss that here. That's a good thing. When you have them, you can share that. So here, this Brie Jersey usually flowers from this part, maybe here, you know. In this part upwards, relatively at the top. And if you only put out a replication of the same kind of gene code, of the same kind of material, then it might never have that part that is needed for flowering. So yeah, that is the reason why having a revert for me is often a good thing. Like I had that revert of the TPM Zelly hybrids, and I've grafted every single one of them, and they were the only ones to flower so far. The crests, I still have them, but they haven't flowered. They are doing nothing. just disappointing me every year again. Here. No, they're great. They had issues with mealybug. We treated them last year, and I'm so happy that we still have some. This is good, but overwintering needs to be done carefully. I consider to repot them in a mineral medium to just mess with the mealybug a little bit. You know, the mealybug might not like it so much. And here's another one that we will graft in the next couple of weeks. We need to do something. Like, there's so much stuff that we have to do, but unfortunately, time flies. Time really flies here. Okay, good. Yeah, exactly. I'm like the TPM. I was so heartbroken about that. Like, they looked amazing. Then I had that year where I didn't water them enough, and just the fact that I didn't water them in these crests was the reason that the mealybug had a field day with them. Like, this perfected crested growth is so nice for them. Apparently, they can really build nice colonies in between. They have a little bit more issues when you have an open columnar, you know. So yeah, I'm glad that I was able to save one or two. I thought I would lose them all, and I would have been ashamed, because this is a good cross. I'm so happy. I was so happy that the one flowered last year. Taken a few cuttings, and today we repotted one of them. And I want to cut it in the next couple of weeks, maybe. Just waiting for it to arrive in the pot here. Then we're taking off the tip to induce popping. But yeah, that's it with the crests. They are really sensitive for mealybug damage. The big one, the TPM that I have, has it also. Like, has it too. Yeah, in between, see, I need to treat it again. Treated the plant last year, and I think it was 3 times or so. It just from time to time comes back. Okay, so let me clean the camera a little, and then I'm doing my outro here. I apologize that the cameras are a little dirty now. Apparently, gardening with a smartphone isn't easy. So okay, yeah, I will continue with the time lapse inside the house now. I'm cutting that today. I will probably post a time lapse during the day, and I can't wait to share them with you, because I've been recording a few in the last days, but I never had the time to post. So there will be something new today, and if not, there will be definitely videos with that big white flower. Maybe a few with Blaze, with that Lubivia that opened up. Yeah, maybe reporting, we will see. Okay, so thank you guys for always being here. I greatly appreciate it. It gives me a reason to get out of bed in the morning, to have a job, you know. We are doing a nice, positive thing here, and I love that I'm doing it. So thank you, everyone. I wish you a great day. I will be back again tomorrow. Make the most out of the day. I believe in you. Thank you, everyone. It was great. Thank you.